Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Elevate Your Life. We are officially on day number 4. I hope that the last 3 episodes have been of value to you and that you're starting to see the changes that I did and that you actually have some relief that hope is alive and well, that a better, bigger, brighter future is on its way. So, today is going to be all about visualization. This is where we're starting to where the rubber hits the road. This is where real change is starting to happen. This is something that if you are an extremely powerful multimillionaire trying to close that $500 million deal, or you're working 9 to 5 and you're just trying to nail that next job, this is for you. Here we go with another life-changing episode on things that I've learned that can help you level up and elevate your life. So when it comes to visualization, this is the golden key that unlocks the door to success. If you do this, you can increase your potentiality to achieve your dreams by almost over 40%. Over 40%, you can go ahead and change that. Something about me, I'm a science girl. I'm a numbers girl. Where's the show me the study, show me the proof, show me the numbers? Why? Because time is the most precious commodity, okay? It's the most important resource we have because it's finite. We are all going to die one day. And so because of that, I like to know where the numbers are at because I don't want to walk a path that's already been paved. If someone's already come before me and paved that path, I will walk that. And then if I reach the end of that path and I need to go in the woods and I need to discover my own way of doing things, then I'm cool with that. But why waste time? So that's why visualization is going to be key here. If that's over 40%, let's add that to the cortisol boost that we're constantly going to be in because we're physically going to be proper even when we're sitting. So what was that, 30%? So I just increased your chance of success by almost 70%. You're welcome. So, but let's just talk about the basics here when it comes to visualization. So we shared a little bit of the science. And obviously percentages matter. They're abbreviated, they matter. It's been a long day too, I'm not going to lie. So that being said, if you want something in this life, you have to aim at it. If you don't aim at it, you're never going to hit it. So that's also why that first episode was so important. Okay. That was so important. If you don't aim, you can't hit. Now, if you don't aim, you also have absolutely no responsibility whatsoever for not hitting anything because you're not trying to hit anything. Okay? Sometimes you just got to take the load, bear the burden, and take responsibility for your life. And in taking responsibility for your life, and we'll talk more about responsibility in the future as well because it's a key point, it's a key part. It's always not easy, but it's your life, your choices. And you have to live with them. And so visualization is going to help you with that. How? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start setting a goal. Okay? And I might go ahead and get to that in the next episode as well. But what do you want your life to look like is the question that I'm asking you today. What is it that you're looking for in this world? What is it that makes you joyful? Going to be straight up honest. I'm not someone that pushes for happiness. Okay. Oh, Marie, well, what the heck are you talking about? Happiness is an if, then, was, will be word. If I achieve this, then I will be happy. When I get this, I'll be happy. If I have this, I will be happy. You will never be happy if you're going for happiness. But joy, the actual enjoying of the thing that you do, joy is something that can last a very long time. Joy is something that can give meaning and gives purpose to your world and even to your life. So as you're sitting here listening to me, I just want you to think for just a minute. What is it that brings you joy in your life? What is it that turns you up? What is it that brings your brain into focus where you're like, you immediately snap to and you're like, yes, completely present in the moment. What is that thing that brings you the greatest of joy? Is it your kids? Is it your job? Is it a hobby that you like to do that nobody knows about? What is it that brings you joy? We're not looking for happiness. Happiness is a fairy tale. And I will say you one thing, I don't believe in fairy tales, okay? If you actually go into the actual literature on the fairy tales that Disney has cartoonized, the things that, I grew up with at the very least, they're very, very twisted and dark. You don't want a fairy tale. And I will also give you this little bit of wisdom as well while we're talking about this before we jump into the how-to. If something seems too good to be true, it is. Okay? If a job offer, if that guy that you're dating or that guy you're talking to online or whatever it is, if something seems too good to be true, 90% of the time it is. So stop and think about that. So we're not going after fairy tales here. Like I said, I'm not a rose-colored glasses type of girl. I'm also not a pessimist and, life sucks and glass half empty type of girl. I'm neither of those. I'm a, what's the truth? What's actual, physical, right here, right now, reality? That's the type of person I am. And when you take that road, when you take that mentality, it opens the door to see a lot more than most people ever do. So, what brings you joy? We're going to go ahead and do a little visualization right here, right now. And I just want you to think about what that looks like, that thing that brings you joy. Well, why does it bring you joy? Yeah, is it your hands? Is it because you get to use your mind? Is it the feelings? I'm going to guess that it's the feelings that it inspires. So let's just, for the sake of this video, and because I'm not an entrepreneur, and let's just say that, and this is a real life situation, how many of us are actually trying to go out and get a job? You're going out, you're getting a job, and you've got a job interview. And you're like, God, Marie, I really want this job. I can increase your chance of getting it by over 40%. No, almost 70%. Almost 70% I can increase your chance of nailing that job, nailing that interview, just based on your posture, just based on this visualization. 70% is not a bad number, huh? 70% is not bad at all. So 70%, you're going to this job interview. You are sitting in the car and you're about to go into this meeting and you're about to give this interview. Give yourself time, and maybe that's something I should talk about in the future as well, as how to interview. Done that quite well, quite a few times. But that being said, when you get to the place that you're going for this interview, we want this to be fresh in our minds, okay? Now, you can do this the night before as well. To be honest, I will even give a personal experience after this demonstration about how you can extend this visualization to be decades out in the future to try to get the life that you want. But for now, let's crunch down the time and let's have it be this interview. And let's say that you're sitting out in the car and you're about to go do this interview. I would like you to sit in that car, take a deep breath. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. We're going to calm down the nerves. We're going to calm down our bodies. And I want you to calm down your mind. Now remember, we're going to integrating everything we're talking about here. You're going to sit in the car with your back straight, with your chest pointed up to God or to whatever floats your boat. But we're going to have that correct posture. We're going to be with our chest up, expanding, so that we can take deep breaths and so that we are increasing our cortisol by 30 to 40% in the car. Now, we're going to compound. Compound interest is a beautiful thing. You can even do it with your body, and you can even do it with your mind, and this is how you do it. I want you, and you can do it, for me, I've really trained my brain where I can see things in the back of my head while still seeing the world around me. Sometimes the world is so loud though, it takes practice to do that. So if you're sitting in the car and you're listening to me as you're about to go do this interview, go ahead, as long as you're safe, as long as you're in a good place where you can do this in the car. I would lock the car just to be safe while you're doing this. It's only going to be like 3 or 4 minutes here. Go ahead, lock the car, close your eyes. Just close them and just be here with me in this present moment about how you want to get this job. This job is the thing that's going to help you get X, Y, and Z, going to make you more comfortable, going to give you better hours, better pay, whatever. Another deep breath. 1, 2, 3. On the inhale, we're going to exhale. 1, 2, 3. Close the eyes. And we're going to go on a journey together to getting this job. Now, obviously, you prepped the night before about what you were going to wear. You were assured that you are giving the best presentation of yourself that you can. You are ready to physically, by your attire, go into this interview. Got your shoulders back. You've got your chest pointed up. You're wearing the correct outfit for this interview. You have done the research for this interview. I want you to imagine going through those front doors in the building. How do you walk? How fast do you go? Are you racing in because you're late? Or are you gracefully, confidently covering ground? You open the door handle. Do you yank it open? No, we open it calmly and confidently. We are setting the tone. We are setting our energy before we even hit the person that is going to start the interview process. You go up to the door. You talk to the receptionist. Hi, I'm here for my interview. Great. Here's a copy of my resume. I just wanted to make sure you guys have it. You're confident. You're prepared. It's always good to have a secondary resume. You just never know. You go into this interview. You sit down after confidently shaking their hands. One, you're not death gripping them. One strong shake. You introduce yourself to your interviewees. They ask you questions about your experience, about what you've done. What abilities do you have? What is a challenging time where you had to deal with an irritated customer? That's okay. You've done all the research. You've prepped. You've prepared. You know exactly what you're going to say. And not only that, but because we've increased our cortisol, we're also going to commend this interview process by our tone, our inflection, our speed of which we are speaking. We're going to give ourselves the chance. One of the biggest tips when we're doing interviews is that we don't rush. Hi, Marie. So what do you bring to the table? Well, I bring X, Y, and Z. No, we're going to visualize. Well, Marie, what do you bring to the table? Well, I'm very excellent when it comes to people, and I've gone through multiple situations. I've been a manager in X, Y, and Z roles. Did you catch the pause? You control the environment. And we're doing it right here, right now, as you follow my voice in the car before you go do this interview. You also are going to hit 3 or 4 points that you have figured out beforehand. About how 3 or 4 things about you that you want this company to know about, that you want this manager to know, that you are amazing at people, that you are the best salesperson that ever existed in your company. You've gotten every award. Whatever it is, as you're sitting in this car, I want you to think of 3 to 4 things, 3 to 4 bullets that no matter what happens in this interview, you are going to get those 4 things across. 4 things that are the best thing about you that also match this company that you're about to interview with. I want you to think about raising up from that table, saying thank you so much for your time. I look forward to hearing from you in the future. calmly turning around, walking out the door. That, my friends, is a visualization. Did I not just walk you through exactly how to do that interview? Did I not just set the tone with my energy? Notice that I brought my energy down lower for you guys in this video so that if you are doing this and you are about to go do this interview, we want to be a little under what we normally are because it's an exciting thing. You want this job. You want this interview. Feel my energy go up? So look, I'm not even interviewing here. I can only imagine, I've been there, like, the nerves. So we're going to go under our normal energy so that when we rise from the anxiousness, when we rise from the nerves, we actually hit our normal energy. We come across as calm, cool, and confident. So that being said, that is a short-term, quick visualization where you're literally about to go do whatever it is that you're about to do. I want you to go visualize how you're going to do it. Now, this can be a presentation. This does not have to be just a job interview. Whatever it is you're going through, whatever it is that you want to absolutely nail, you want to destroy the interview. This is how you do it. You set your posture, you set your energy, you set your tone, and you visualize before you go in exactly what you're going to do. Now, I will say, if you do this often enough, I can visualize what I'm going to do as I'm walking into the building. It's a repetitive muscle in your brain that the more you do it, the faster you get. The more, like, if someone said, Marie, go give this presentation, I only need like the 5 minutes to walk to that presentation where I can tell you X, Y, Z, I'm going to get these points across. This is how I'm going to convey it. This is what I'm going to do. And this is how I'm going to close. Repetition, repetition, repetition. And also giving yourself instances where you can try to do this. Like when you're meeting a friend or like whatever it is that's going on in your life, think about how you want that interaction to go. It doesn't just have to be business. It can be hanging out with a friend. Well, how do you want that conversation to go? Visualize it, execute it. Now, that is short-term, almost immediate turnaround visualization. This is where I will share. You can do this long-term. You can make this a life mission about what kind of life that you want to live. And I got to tell you, the longer the visualization is, like the farther from point A from where you're at to point B from where you want to go, the harder it is because there's all these variables in between point A and point B. It can be really hard to cut through all the possibilities of what could be to see the actual visualization of your future. That being said, I literally was visualizing these YouTube channel, this podcast. I was literally visualizing it for almost a month out about what I would say, how I would say it, and I got to say, like, it's coming across really well on these. What I envisioned is what is happening. Now that's like a month. I will also tell you that one thing that I'm working on, and because that's where it is. I'm honest with you guys as much as I can be. I'm just honest. One of the things is I'm visualizing what kind of life I want to live. I know I want to be successful, but now the more detailed you can make that vision, the more you can actually see yourself in that vision. Not, I would like a Ferrari. Are you sitting in the Ferrari? Are you putting that gas pedal down and revving that engine? Can you feel the leather on the seats? That new car smell? Can you see the gauges? Can you see your name popping up on the display for your iPhone? Do you see the difference between a Ferrari and in the Ferrari? Massive difference. It also, if you visualize, not only can you accomplish that dream, you will set the patterns and the programming in your brain to make it more likely for that thing to happen. So for me, I want to be a multimillionaire. And everything that comes with it, all the woes, all the heartache, the long hours, the toys, the cars. For me, I like my horses. So honestly, I just hope that, and I am still looking for my partner in this life. I'm looking for someone to compliment me because I do not need validation. I've gone through so much. And so I will also tell you that actually, when I set that tone for what kind of entrepreneur I want to be, it was really interesting because who I need to get there as a partner, as a complement, became crystal clear. Crystal clear. And I'll even get into that in an episode coming up called Kings and Queens. So the more you visualize something, the more detail you put into it, the easier it is to get there. That being said, I will even personally admit I've got a little bit of imposter syndrome going on. Like, what? You think you're going to be able to do that? That little voice, that squeaky little voice that's like, okay, here's some oil, shut up. You know, like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be amazing at this. I have all this life experience. Quite honestly, how could I not be a multimillionaire if I do everything? If I put my full willpower, if I put my full brain power behind this thing, there's no way I'm not going to hit it. There's just no way. I'm going to do this. But I will be more likely to hit that goal when I start thinking about, like, what kind of house would I like to have? That Ferrari that I was talking about. Now, honestly, I'm hoping I have a partner that he can handle the mechanical horsepower, and I'll handle the four-legged kind. Like, hey, baby, like, I'm taking the Lambo. Like, oh, hey, you want to come ride, this $500,000 horse? Like, yeah, no problem. It's back from training. Like, let's go. Like, you handle the mechanical power, I'll handle the horsepower. But do you see how I'm visualizing that? And also, one more thing I should also say, we talked about speaking to ourselves. By putting this on this podcast, I am actually speaking it into reality, that this thing is going to happen. I'm not just holding it on the inside that, oh, I'm going to do this thing. Even with the squeaky voice, I'm not just holding it on the inside that I'm going to do this. I am literally speaking it into reality that someday I'm going to be a multimillionaire and I'm going to have a partner who likes fancy cars that I can take occasionally while having hundreds of thousands of dollars of horse flesh at the stable nearby. I'm speaking it into being. I am visualizing it and actualizing it through my words. So that's the thing. If this is a vision, if this is a dream that's so big, and believe me, my dreams are really big. I'm very ambitious. I didn't realize how ambitious I was until I started thinking about what exactly it is I want to do in this life and exactly what kind of entrepreneur journey I want to go on. I'm a little intimidating. And I will tell you too, that's why as we go through this process, it's good to be able to have levers to tone up and tone down your energy. Different people in different situations require different things. Just absolutely they do. So in any case, all about visualization today. Can you see it? Can you hear it? And if you do have that big dream, the one that is 20 years, 50 years down the road, that you're not going to get there anytime soon. Like, we're talking a massive amount of time. Not only if you visualize it, but if you speak it, you can literally make that more likely to happen. So I hope this helps. And in the next video, we're going to talk about this all intertwines. Right now, this foundational work, we're building stones, we're putting down the foundation, we're building, okay? And so the next one is going to be talking about burdens. And while it's not necessarily the funnest topic to think about, it actually gets a lot more fun once you understand what that actually means. So I'll see you in the next video when we talk about burdens. Bye, guys.